Good afternoon. Well, good evening, everyone. Let me see, testing. There we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this is still first quarter, right? This is our first quarterly meeting. We've been doing quarterly meetings. This is the second quarter?
It's the first quarter meeting was postponed, but this is our first meeting of the
This is our first, okay. The reason why we wanted to do these meetings, because we want to take questions, comments, and or concerns from the community. Typically, we have different departmental heads or entity leaders presenting about their programs. Today, we have Captain Ojewski here from the West District. So without further ado, this will essentially be like one of our open meetings where we will take, you got it. We will take questions, comments, and concerns from the residents. And if you have something you want to say as it relates to what someone brought up, please feel free to chime in. The captain is going to be here for issues as it relates to public safety and things of that nature. I do want to take this time just to thank my staff, thank all of the ladies, Tina, Gina, Erica, Lanisha, for
Officer Jackson from the South District.
Oh, yes, we also have, Officer Jackson here as well. And again, these meetings are for you, for us to hear your concerns, for you guys to have this space, this venue to, some people come voice their frustration with things that's going on, but nonetheless, this is your time. So with that being said, we do have people on Zoom. Thank you for tuning in. I thought nobody wasn't going to come because it was nice outside, but slowly but surely people begin to pack the room and log in on Zoom, which is a great sign because we want to make sure, and as I speak, people are coming in as well. We want to make sure that we're taking in all of the concerns of the community, and as a whole, how can we make this work? How can we, be responsive, one, and two, how can we get to the finishing line with whatever issue it is? Wow, people are really starting to pack in. So I guess we can start with public safety concerns because Ms. Jackson and Captain I don't know how long they'll be able to be with us. So we do want to respect their time. So we can start with any public safety issues that you guys may have. Boy, and they booking them in on Zoom. Yes. So if you guys have any questions as it relates to issues with public safety, Captain O also work with Captain Hewlin. Those guys work in unison. He's the commander for the South District, which is on Bergen, and I believe the borderline is on Iggy, right? I found out the borderline was on Iggy because my dog had got hit, and I think I went to see if it was a police report, and they was like, "No, what you talking about?" I was like, "Well, a cop told me, so I know that it happened." And they was like, "Well, you got to check the other district." And that's when I found out that literally half of that block is in the west, and the other half is in the South District. So without further ado, we'll open it up to the people. And yes.
Good evening. I've been noticing a lot of the scooters, and I know they're kids, but they have been riding through the communities. I mean, really out of control, especially in the South District. And my thought, and to ask this question, I know you guys can't do too much about it because there's a protocol that you have to address with these scooters, but how could we kind of slow that down, that no one, these kids are driving on sidewalks, we got senior citizens trying to do their grocery shopping. A lot of these people are driving these motorcycles, they're not in school, so they're out here during the daytime when kids are coming home from school, they go down and stuff. If you guys can come up with some kind of solution, because I know you gotta have certain protocols to address that matter.
Okay, before you answer, Cap, I just want everybody on the Zoom to know the question that was brought up or the concern that was brought up is what is being done or what can be done as it relates to individuals riding scooters and or electrical vehicles, bikes, mopeds on public sidewalks, disturbing the public right of way. So that's the question that was brought up, Captain. O.
All right, there's a couple of things. First, we can't chase them,
Speaking for the mic, Cat.
because if we chase them and they get hurt, I live in the city too, we're gonna get sued. What we'll usually do if we have a problem area, we'll wait till, let them run back and forth and wait till they park it. And then we take it.
Okay, there's a location 14 Grant, GRANT. There's a
That would be her.
location, South District, there's a location, 114 Grant, GRANT Avenue. Right there, family just moved in, up, down, I think he's fixing bikes there. This is where I basically got the complaint from.
Okay.
For some apparent reason, they come to me, I'm not the block association, but I've been on the. block.
No, you are officially, you're by default, you are, don't back out, by default, you are.
So, the thing is, if we can just ask them to be considerate of the community when they're around it like that.
So we have a unit that specifically targets, or no, I wouldn't say target, that works with like our motor vehicle infractions within our unit, within our district. So I'll bring it to my captain's attention, and I'll also bring it to that unit's attention, so they're aware.
Thank you, because again, they're riding to and from on these scooters coming up and down with their kids, and they can get hurt and then turn around and sue the city as well. Okay?
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions as it relates to that issue?
I was wondering if they have license plates on the scooters where you can take a picture of the license plate and then it would automatically go through your data system to determine who's riding the bicycle on the sidewalk, if the owner is riding the bicycle on the sidewalk.
I think the issue with, is it 150 cc's? Anything under 150, they don't have to register it?
Here's how we tell everybody the easy way. 29 miles or above, you have to register. Most of them go 35, 45, 75. So, yes, but to your question with the plates, it depends if the plate's real. Because a lot of people just get plates online, they throw it on there, and it looks real. And people go, but then you run the plate and it comes back to nothing.
This young man have a question. Oh, is someone else over here? Oh, hold on, let the young, okay.
So, my name is Xavier and I want to share something with you. So when I go to the park, we practice with my dad over there and my brother over there. And we see like these teenagers climbing buildings and like shooting fireworks at each other. So when we practice, they're like shooting fireworks at each other. Then we're like, oh no, we gotta go. So we go and like, yeah.
Okay, that's Berry Lane, yeah, that's a,
It's similar to my question, kind of hands in Preston asked. With spring is here and also with the summer coming, I was wondering if there's like a protocol strategy in place with the kinetic energy on the street, particularly like the high school kids and more people out in the street that we can do to channel some of that excitement and energy coming out of hibernation in the winter. You know, we got more people on the street, the parks are crowded, but it can get pretty chaotic. Things of like having a presence, maybe some walking around, creating some structure and order during the spring and summer season. Thank you.
All right, see, originally Berry Lane Park was all the east. And then my boss is told me now I have half of Berry Lane Park. So what we usually do is, if we can get the people who sell the fireworks, because with 4th of July, we'll be here soon. And usually that's a big spot where they do sell them. We've arrested numerous people over there selling them. But right now with these kids, I don't get it's usually the like M80s and stuff.
Roman candles,
Roman
yeah.
candles. I don't see what the big fun thing is shooting with your friend with Roman candles, but they do it. So, and unfortunately, because they're juveniles, when we do grab them, we bring the juvenile and they write the parents like a note not to do this again. And they go right back out.
Is there, to Nick's point about the, walking posts or the police present, is there, I know, in past years when it was completely under the East jurisdiction, we will have 2 patrol officers walking throughout the park periodically.
What we do is, depending on the call volume, we have somebody goes by, we'll get out of the car, especially when the crowd starts to, because I want to stop it before the crowd gets too big. It's gonna depend on calls for service. How I tell everybody this, if there's a problem, they call. Just keep on calling, so this way, they have a little map, they can pin it. Because if nobody calls, or one call, it's happened 10 times and there's one call, it's not gonna be taken as a high priority.
If I,
Yes, 5475.
yeah, if I may, my question is, I want to speak about some proactive measures. No one wants anyone to get into trouble, but we know that there's heightened times, beautiful nights, different parts of the day that there is potentially something to build up. And I'm looking more for proactive strategies and tactics, so we don't have to get there to where we're being reactionary and these kids are potentially.
Parks and Recreation.
Good afternoon. I live on Orient, moved in about a year ago.
Okay, welcome aboard, young fella.
So I just wanted to reiterate on the scooters and also people driving on 99. I live on 99 and I'm in between it. My children aren't with me full time, but when they do come visit, but there is a lot of children on the street and they're not going 15 miles an hour. These people are speed bumps. And they disregard it, and they also, garbage is a huge thing on my street, because they just throw it out the window or the sidewalk, and quite honestly, it's doing a lot of damage to a place I don't even own, I rent. And it's causing a lot of tension between my neighbors and everything like that, and playing loud music constantly, and trust me, I love the music loud, but I don't have to hear it when I'm in my house, and my whole house
Shake.
you know, and these kids have, you know, they don't care. They just whip around in their scooters, on their bikes, in their car. Some of them are of age, or some of them I don't think are of age. And I think when he mentioned the fake plates on their cars, that's a concern of mine too, because the fact is I've had damage done to my fiance's car. Someone walked in front of it, took the insignia off it and pulled it right off. And they did it to my neighbor's house too, took the Ford logo right off and everything like that, and just threw it on the ground or took it and did whatever. So, and you know, I'm literally right over here on the corner, and it's just a concern of safety and, you know, my car getting damaged, her car getting damaged, and everybody else on our street. It's like we said before, there's children, there's elderly, I'm trying to walk my dog, and these kids are like whipping by, and I'm hit my dog. And if they hit my dog or my chick, we're gonna have a major problem, and then I will have to call you. So please, you know, and whatever I can do, I'll be there to help, you know, if I have to be, you know, I am on, I guess, officially the streets, I guess it's called. They have,
The Block Association?
Block Association.
Oh, yes, Orient Ave, yes,
Yes.
Orient Ave does
Yes,
have a,
the notice,
block
yeah.
association.
Yeah, and I'm on the tax groups, Pat.
Yes.
Everything like that. So, and my fiance couldn't be here because I was told him to tell you hi.
Okay,
Personally,
yes,
so.
all
okay.
right. So, just for the people that live on from Grant to Iggy, from Ocean to Bergen, we're in the process of creating a neighborhood association. So we will be dispersing flyers as it relates to that meeting in the coming weeks, because we want to make sure we get everybody input. We don't just want to create something and hand it to you and say, here, this is what we created. That is something we want to come up with as a collective. So if everybody is signed in and if I see your name and your address is in that area, we will be in contact with you as it relates to that. I will say this, I think when we create, because there's a certain element that the police is not necessarily going to be able to get rid of, is because like you'll call the police about them illegally riding up and down the block. By the time the police get there, the up and down is gone. Right? So we're gonna have to create an environment, and this is what I was talking to the people on Orient is about, is we're gonna have to create a homey environment where we know who these kids are, right? Everybody don't wanna like contact the parent because some parents are belligerent and everything, but at the very least, once we begin to know who lives where, who these parents are, right, we're gonna be able to come to them to try to come about with a reasonable situation, a reasonable resolution. Because the reality is in Jersey City, we're losing that sense of community in a sense like people don't even speak. I mean, my block, everyone is pretty much in sync because it's a small block. It's like 6 houses on the whole block. So everybody know each other, everybody speaks to each other, right? We got to get away from this theory that, oh, they weren't born and raised here, they just moved here, we can't include them, right? Because ultimately, no matter where you at, whether you own or rent, you want to live in a safe community. We all have that common denominator, we all have that common concern as a whole, right? So off that premises, right, we know we all want to be safe. So what can you do to make me safer? What can I do to make you safer? So we have to create this community, right? And it's not going to happen overnight, but at the very least, we have to strive to achieve, to create these mechanisms. That's the thing that I love about Van Voss Neighborhood Association, Paulus Hook Neighborhood Association. It's like everybody knows everybody. They might not know your name, but hey, I seen you at the meeting. Hey, I know such and stuff. So somebody knows somebody. So we can create that same situation up here. And again, it's going to look different, right? Because there's a lot more kids, it's a lot more, there's a lot more activity going on. But I think that as a whole, we can do it, right? Because the last thing I want to do is like, I don't want to get in the business of penalizing kids, right? Because the odds are like even the stuff that they doing. I was telling them the other day they was jumping off the roof and they like, Coach, we having fun. I'm like, dude, that's not fun, right? But to them, that's an adrenaline rush. It's fun, bro. One of y'all trip and fall off this roof, you may not be the same for the rest of your life. Right. So it's it's a community perspective, it's an education perspective. And once we all come together, and we're gonna really have to look out for this daggone 4th of July, man, because I don't know. That's never been I was a bad kid, but we've never shot Roman candles. That stuff is dangerous. Like that is dangerous. You can literally take someone's eye out with these what's the name? But credit to JCPD, you guys have been doing a good job as it relates to cracking down on the individuals that were selling them. Right? That's what we have to figure out. How can we do a sting or target those people that's selling them? I know you guys had made several arrests last year as it relates to that.
So
we have another question.
They're legal.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's certain classes of fireworks.
You go like this high, 6 foot, 6 foot. Anything over 6 foot is not fine.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem too. Like, how do you differentiate? Like, how do I know how far some could go? Like the Roman candles, to your point, are small, but the ones that's legal are tall. So, like, how do you differentiate? I don't know. How do you differentiate?
I know last year, we had some flyers that we distributed to talk about the differences between the fireworks.
Yeah.
So we put that in the next newsletter, because we get that from the police department each year. So if if they don't have one out yet, a new one out, we'll put the same one out
From last year, yeah.
to show you which fireworks are legal, which ones are illegal. And if you think someone has an illegal firework, then you can call the 5477 number. I wanted to answer your other question with regards to litter, because I experienced it too. And I know we've all seen it, unfortunately. That car drives by, stop at a red light and dump his whole garbage can out in the street. So if you have an opportunity to catch their license plate, you can send it into Residence Response Center, and they can send it on to, the police department, or you can email us, the license plate, we'll send it into the police department, because it's disrespectful, and a lot of times it's out of town plates, like, it's not our people doing it a lot of the times, it's people passing through the city. I know, sometimes it is people within the community, but a lot of times it's not people who live on that block who are doing it, it's people who are passing through or hanging out, or see us as the place to do that, but they won't do it in their own backyard. So two things. So if you can have the license plate number and be able to send it in, that'd be great. But for those landlords or housing developments or lots that are filled with litter and they need to be cleaned up, that is what you definitely want to tell Residence Response Center, because they need to be fined. But these lots aren't getting fined by the city until someone reports them. So you can't just walk by and say, oh, what is this? That's disgusting. Don't just walk by and keep walking. Take a picture, notate that address, send it into the city and identify this lot to the city as saying, hey, city, this lot needs to be cleaned up. They're not doing their part. And the city will fine them. And if they don't clean up in a certain amount of time or pay their fine, then the city will clean the lot and send them the bill. So, yes. Yes, so that's what I'm about to do. So C-Click Fix is the app, but if you're not app savvy or if you're not computer savvy, you can just call the Residence Response Center, or you can email the Residence Response Center if you don't have the C-Click Fix app to download. But the great thing about the C-Click Fix app is it gives you a reference number, and this is like your receipts. This, like when they say, I need the receipts, this is your receipt to prove that you called the city, prove that you told the city about this issue. And if it still goes unresolved, that's when you contact your councilman's office to light the fire about this problem and get some type of resolution. But C-Click Fix Residence Response is your first stop. We have these books here that'll give you phone numbers for each department and division in the city. The C-Click Fix and the RRC, their phone number, that should be your first. Everybody should have it locked in their phone. If you see something, say something, a pothole, litter, anything your tax dollars paid for that is supposed to be fixed with your tax dollars, you report it to the Residence Response Center, get your receipt number, and let Councilman Gilmore be able to follow up on it.
Yes, and also I would say as it relates to the empty lots, we were able to create pretty much an inventory of all of the empty lots in Ward F and who owned them. So I've been, I was calling some this week and they said, oh, we know Councilman at the time. Yes, yes. Because in the summertime, for whatever reason, it's just more trash in these empty lots and those bushes grow high. So that's something that we've been very diligent with reaching out to those homeowners. So if it's one in your area, reach out with the address. We'll give them the courtesy up front. Then after that, we just ask the inspectors to issue citations, send DPW to clean and send them the invoice.
Ready for the question?
Yes.
I just want to say that what needs to happen really for the youth is that they have to have sports. They have to be involved in some type of physical activity. They are teenagers, they're young people that they have an abundance of energy. And some of them I see drinking energy drink. And I'm like, what do you need an energy drink for? As young as I mean, it would seem like you just said, and they do. But it's how they're using it. So what needs to happen, I'm talking about, there just needs to be a campaign to get them involved. I don't know whether it's through the schools, through the church, through just in newsletters or, through various methods. Because it's going to keep on happening, so many of the problems, because, that's how they are. And I don't know why we're not, putting more towards like getting them involved in sports and having like a sports town, like I don't even remember like saying, oh wow, I really gotta go to that game because it was, these players are so good on the team. So, I mean, when is that happening? These kids, all of this energy that they have, and they're out there cursing and yelling, hollering, screaming, and all of this, being disrespectful and all of that. And some of them aren't. But I'm saying, why isn't that being someplace where they can go and work out? Maybe like a boxing. I know that in New York, there was some of the police officers were involved in helping the kids to box because it is an outlet. If they know they can go someplace where they can just beat up people and it's okay, and there's camaraderie and there's respect in the ring. And also, they know how to be team players when they're playing on a team, and they know how to take constructive advice and how to maneuver their bodies and their minds, use that mental, and also that they have to strategize, that they must complement that with academics. So it's not just you going to go out there and play, but also help them to know how to study so that they can invigorate all of those systems. It's a holistic procedure. And it's something that sometimes we have to be like a little patient with. It's hard, I know, but it is the most efficient and a way to revitalize our community, and especially for those that are underprivileged and marginal perspectives that are happening with the diversity and the sometimes the economics that's happening. Their identity and their self-worth, this self-esteem is being questioned all the time. And so bullying would be just submerged. We wouldn't have that would come on, you need to get on this team. Come on, build yourself up. And these are the devices that we need at this particular time. This is our community. And if we don't start patrolling it like that, we're going to have so many people that are in the poverty level, never able to pull themselves up. What's the matter with those kids? Why can't they get it together? Those are some of the reasons. If they're home at night and they're tired because they worked out so hard, they have to work their minds out. They have to work their bodies out. And we're counting on you to win. And we want you to win academically, economically, financially. We want you to win. And if we are supporting them in that capacity, maybe they will. And if we expect to know, here they're going to go cursing again, but sometimes we have to tell them, look, I heard enough of that. Don't you know another language? Do you know English? These are the kind of things that we have to implement also as parents, as caretakers, as guides. And we can't just, be their friend and not be a disciplinarian also. It has to be coupled in terms of seeing their enthusiasm and also providing them with guidance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we, in the interest of time for the public safety, if we can do all of public safety issue related questions first, because I know Cap and them, they have other engagements. So is there anyone on Zoom? If you're on Zoom and you have a question, please feel free to they have the raise your hand icon in there. And we'll get to you on Zoom too. I don't want to be missing anyone.
Anthony.
In regards to working, you're right. We actually do promote a lot of resources for families and children. The problem is the parents are not signing them up for it. In this newsletter that just came out, we have a whole list of boxing, soccer, flag football, tennis, track, the rec fest on our website, everything what else. We promote the rec fest where you can go and look at, you can pretty much find anything that you're looking to do there. But it's just the fact that a lot of parents are not utilizing the resources that's available.
Online, on Zoom, we have Anthony Mill, Miglior on.
Oh, Anthony. Anthony, hey, Anthony.
Hey, good evening. Yeah, just a quick public safety question. So, down here on Monticello, 141, there was a smoke shop that I think we were told was closed, maybe 12 hours. So, I think that was partially handled by the Quality of
Quality of
Life
Life
Task Force. And unfortunately, it's back open now. So a few of the neighbors are just kind of were wondering how did it happen so fast, and just I guess just generally we're curious about the Quality of Life Task Force, how it works, and then if somebody's not following a particular order or something like that, how that kind of all transpires.
So I know from a process perspective, sometimes, these stores open up, they have the credentials to sell certain things, and then they subsequently sell things that they don't have the credentials for. So law enforcement, along with Quality of Life, will go, they will search the store, and if they find anything that's deemed to be illegal and or contraband, they will confiscate that, shut the store down, and then there's citations given. But the problem is that once that citation issue is remedied, they are allowed to open back up to sell the things that they have the license to sell.
On that 141, I was there the other day, we shut him down. He has no smoke shop license. He never has had it. He's had a deli license, but half of the stores smoke shop
stuff.
So we closed him down the other day. He reopened 7, 8 night. We are going to hit him again. We do not, the problem is right now is we're deciding whether we just padlock everything or just take all his inventory. The problem is taking all the inventory. We gotta find a place to put it. And also we hit the lot next door to that 141. There's 143, the lot with the truck in it and the garbage and the guy sleeping in the truck.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna handle both of those within the next couple of days, but we're targeting that smoke shop because he has no paperwork. He just has for deli.
Okay.
Public safety question.
Tina or Gina?
Hi, public safety question. We've noticed that over time, in the past maybe month or two, there's been an uptick in number of police vehicles sitting at intersections, just sitting there, but with their lights on. And we've noticed that it started up on MLK and now it's spreading to the rest of the city. And so it feels like we're starting to see some like police state, surveillance state type of policing. And I gotta say, there are people in my neighborhood who are very concerned about this. So I was wondering, and I know there's only so much you can probably speak to, but where's leadership going with this? Why do we have these lights going 24/7 at some corners when, yeah, we know it sometimes reduces crime, but the negative effects for children, we know there've been learning studies done that these negatively affect the children living in the neighborhood. It negatively affects the culture of the neighborhood, and most importantly, it negatively affects the mental health and, in fact, the vision of you as policemen and women who are working on behalf of us. And that is the part that makes me really angry. So sorry if I got a little emotional, but what have you all been talking about this new change in tactics?
Well, actually, it's not new. It's been going on for like 12 years. We're not the only state that does it. Miami does it, Philadelphia does it, a lot of people. What the original plan was, you took the most violent areas and you threw the car there to cut the violence down. In my district, we have 2, Marion Projects and Bergen and Lex, because we had too many problems there. But there's no longer on the day tour. It's only basically on the evening tour and nothing overnight. If there is another incident where you see a car, it could be for an incident that popped up that day if it's overnight, such as ridiculous as it sounds, sinkholes, damage, like a motor vehicle accident where it was damaged, a crime scene. But there should be nothing on after 11 o'clock at night. That, I don't think the South has them after 11 either.
No, we have it on the weekend. We have, the Triangle Park post.
Gina, you,
Whatever
were
on the
you,
weekend.
you know, you, any specific area you seen them?
Yeah, I see it now on Montgomery, by Montgomery and Bright Street. I see it on MLK. There's a number of spots between here and, you know, all on this corridor up here. There are now a couple of ones. I spoke to some officers a couple of days ago down by the pedestrian strip of Newark Mall, the Newark.
Oh, the pedestrian plaza?
See it on the pedestrian plaza in downtown Jersey City. I'm saying, you know, we're spreading this across the city now. And I've spoken to a couple of police folks and they're very cautious, obviously, about speaking to it. But if you speak to them long enough, they're not happy about it either, right? It's really not good for vision to be around strobe lighting for more than 10 minutes at a time. And these folks are being exposed for hours and hours and hours. And they're forced to sit in these cop cars and patrol from behind a steering wheel where they're subjected to this working condition. And I feel like it's a concern, right, that's coming up. So I appreciate you taking the time to respond. Thank you so much.
Tina,
And
yeah.
real quick, Officer Jackson, I know before Captain Holland said that the patrol that's right there by the library on Boxwood Avenue, that he will switch the patrol over to by the liquor store, because when you're coming down Boxwood, it's like, what is that? It's blocking. It's blocking the oncoming traffic coming down MLK. So it's like you're blinded by the lights when you're coming down.
We have a complaint for that area specifically, for the disorderly group that, congregate there.
I'm
From
not
a,
saying don't be there. I'm saying if they can go over to the other side of the street maybe, because when
closer
you're
to the
coming-
library or closer to the.
So when you're coming down Boxwood from Bergen, the cop car sits to the left, right in front of the library. So the oncoming traffic that's coming down MLK, and then you're trying to cross the
Like a
intersection,
quick blind spot.
you're
So,
blinded by the light coming down right there.
so probably like in front of the liquor store, the opposite side.
Period. The lights do be in the community. I live right there on Oak and Martin Luther King, and on Union and Oak and Forest, the lights do. I live right there in the building all night. You just see them lights going around and around and around and around. I want to ask, I live on Oak and Martin Luther King, and like Wu said, we have been helping the guys. We've been helping the kids. I'm the one who do the outreach. I'm out in the community with them. I'm talking to them. I'm interacting with them and everything. So I noticed that we don't have a safe spot for them. We don't have no activities for them. So it is difficult. It's not jobs. We already know that our mayor's building partner is not jobs in our community too. I wanted to ask you, both of my cars got shot up on Oak and Martin Luther King, to the point that the cops was very nasty. They said we didn't have no gunshots, that we always hear with firecrackers, and then maybe we just used to it. Thank God I work for Education at Gilmore to show you have to have people that's powerful, that's in that type of stuff, in order to get respect, because the cops was very nasty in our community. So happened that I called Education at Gilmore, and he ends up calling, and they ran the video. And they said, oh, wow, yeah, there was a shooting. It came through Union, and they ran through the parking lot, and they shot up my car. And you know what they said to me? That I had to get the window fixed myself. I think it should be a budget for that. How dare y'all tell me I should get it fixed myself? I'm working minimum wage, and y'all telling me I should get it fixed. Then y'all got about 8, 10, or 12 cameras on my corner. What's that for? Is that for the TV for us to watch at home? I'm confused about them cameras. I asked Wu about that, to the point that I should not have to ask her when there's something going on in our community. Could you ask them to let you watch the camera to find out? It should be the cop job. When Wu and Chief Staff Erica asked me to do something, I do it. Now it's like we have to do the cop jobs too, to let them know what's going on in our community. And it don't work because, again, I've been living on that corner right there for like about 12 or 13 years. Now, like I said, it's clearing up because Education at Gilmore is interacting with me and helping me with them. But I believe that if it wasn't for us, that it would not happen. It's just the cops would just sit there
like they just sitting there when you just pick me up, Gina.
Okay. You,
2 seconds, please.
Yeah,
hold on, when she come,
2 minute minimum.
yeah.
Uh, first of all, when I was walking, along, Martin Luther King Drive, okay, and I saw the police up there, I was grateful that they were there. And the reason that I was grateful was because I walked along that route before, and rode my bike, along that route before the police presence. Okay, because I'm a native here in, Jersey City. And the difference, I know people that got killed and everything over there, shot and all that, right? My son's car was, had been shot at, okay? So I know that it's out there. So when the police are there, and that is one of the most, had been very dangerous area, and which has minimized considerably. And I've walked late at night because I had to go from one place to another very fast and all that. I'm walking fast, and that's a good thing to do. If you are walking, please walk fast. And the police are sitting there sometimes just standing. And I mean, I can't even imagine why you would say you wouldn't want the police out there. Because even though it might be, the kids are thinking, oh wow, we got the police out here, it might be dangerous. Yes, you know what? Guess what? It is dangerous, kids. So they're out there, which is good. And I'm not glad that it has to happen that way, but when they start building and the lots, the empty lots, and then which they're gonna do, they're gonna have more construction out there, and the police presence might not be as necessary. But that is why when you was asking if I was talking about public safety, when I was talking about sports, that's what I'm talking about. All of it is connectivity, just like the body parts, the body systems. We have to realize what is connecting one thing to another and what affects the other. And if you see the police that's sitting out there, hello, police officer, thank you for sitting out there. Because you know what, you could call them and be, because people just seeing them is going to minimize some of the activity that all of that was happening over there.
Thank you so much.
And I don't think, what Tina, the police presence does make a difference, and we appreciate all that you do. For the city, you guys do an amazing job being out there. I think what she was trying to say is the strobe lights. It's not flashing so much. The car itself and the presence may be enough. And maybe like on every half an hour, you throw the lights on or something like that.
Right.
Not the presence of the need. Because we appreciate you, JFT. Go out. I appreciate you.
My name is Edward Richardson.
Speaking to the microphone.
My name is Edward Richardson. My complaint right now, really, I live in Brandmore Avenue, between Bergen and Jackson. We got a lot of buildings, everything going on there, period. I've been called the police. This is my driveway. The police disrespect me 4 o'clock in the morning. They tell me they can't help me. Somebody blocking my driveway. That's nothing. I'm giving you some simple things. From Orient, Claremont, how y'all do the branch thing, period, going down to Monticello Avenue, where they have stores and everything else. This area coming back down, Brandmore is included. Nobody care. I hear how they talk, period. Okay? Lights, everything, period. Police, everything. Like I said, me as a working citizen, me product of my environment. I've been through it a couple times. I've been through it last month. The last meeting when I went to, I voiced my opinion. You know, but I never reached out to nothing. Police need to enforce a lot of things. This city used to enforce a lot of things, and they don't enforce a lot of things within this jurisdiction. Whatever y'all got going on here as far as Jersey City, they flew in from there, going down to Monticello. From Monticello, they pick up, period. No disrespect or anything. I'm not coming at nobody. I'm telling y'all what's going on. all these new environments coming into the neighborhood, everything, period. Practice. You need this?
If you're done, if you're done.
But-
No, if you ain't,
Because everybody in here know where I'm coming from with this.
Yes.
You understand me? You understand me? Honestly, because y'all probably my environment. But I went through the whole situation. And I felt real disrespected. Me, as a black man. Blowing up this network right here. Right here. Okay? He said he can't help me. And I tried to be the best of the best. You understand me?
Right.
But on top of that, we got a lot of new developments, everything going on. People building buildings, houses, everything, parking, everything, which is a problem. So when I talked to you, when you was getting it from, I said, I need to get, parking, residential parking, because they had it from Bramhall and Jackson going down to Ocean. It was the reason why I asked for that. Okay? Now it is what it is. Jersey City is what it is, period. Okay? Full up filters, period. You understand me? I support him. I did the turkey runs with him from back then before he got it. Trust me, my guy. You feel me? I'm proud of my environment, but we gotta do something. We have to do something. We have to make changes. Period. Because look, I got 3 grandkids here. I got 5 grandkids total. But I got 3 right here in this network, period. And I grew up here. I came from the islands. You feel me? And I'm a product of my environment. I grew up with a lot of people, and anybody will tell you, period. But we need help. We need help. I'm not no politician. I don't know how to fight that, period. Okay, but we need your help, honestly. You feel me? Thank you.
Just want to ask me any question.
Can we get clarification on, thank you for speaking, I just want to get clarification on, getting cars moved and towed if you're blocked in your driveway.
Yeah, give me more about it. You said the driveway. and
Yeah,
you
just
just
stuck my whole driveway.
Alright.
I got a driveway next to me, everything. They try to squeeze in between.
so a car was blocking you from going in or out, and you called the police. Oh, okay. And he called the police, and he,
And they didn't tow the car.
I had a fight, and they still didn't even give him a ticket.
Oh.
They said, hold up, this the crazy part is, the, whoever above him came out, it was a white woman, Caucasian. I said, do you live here? Honestly, because I lived here since 86, 87. You hear me? Yeah. And she said what she said. I said, no problem. Thank you. Enjoy. I don't want to fight, but this is what a person who pay taxes. High taxes. We had 2 houses right there on Bramhall Avenue. Hear me on light, bro. Feel me? Why do I have to fight that? Why do I have? So I understand what the next person have to do. Period. I'm being honest. This is the first meeting I came to. And I'm not fighting it, but I'm telling you what the person living here have to go through. Period.
no, I mean, I think it's healthy dialogue for you to come out to these venues to articulate how you've been treated based on your experience and things like that. Now Cap, he's asking you certain questions. I guess
When
he's
did
trying to
this
get
take- no,
intel
I'm gonna pull
from.
I'm gonna pull the computer system.
You want to, you
No,
on,
when?
on the
When?
west side of, I mean, Unicorn Avenue?
Yes, he's the captain for the West.
When did this?
When did it happen?
Oh, 4 months, 3 months ago.
3-4 months ago. Okay.
Including the people stealing my packages.
Oh, that's a problem all over the city.
I'm telling you what I'm going through.
No, listen, we have a unit that goes around and grabs people. But
Is that?
you're not the only guy.
Report it every time. Get your
Is that-
police report number.
Is that, the non-emergency number, or is that parking enforcement? When somebody's blocking your driveway, who do you contact?
They put the call through, it'll usually be us after a certain time because parking
Right.
authority is not working. Now, usually what the rule is if you don't have to get out of the driveway, they ticket the car and leave it. If you need to get out of the driveway, they're supposed to tow it. That's why I want to find out. I'm going to talk to you afterwards. I need the address and I want to know the timeline. So I'm gonna pull and see why they didn't do it.
Also, why y'all just don't work? Why y'all just don't tow a car if they in somebody's driveway?
Wait,
No, that's what he's saying. That's why he wanted to get the exact information or whatever.
Explain why. When we would go out at a certain time of night, okay? And then after the person is blocking the driveway, if it is an out-of-state license plate number, we cannot tow the vehicle, okay? If you are blocked in with your car inside and you can't get out, that's another way it will be towed. But if you were coming in and your driveway was there and someone was parking in your driveway, ticket.
Now watch it.
Hey,
What if they say they short on staff? Which I've been dealing with.
Well,
For
it's
this year.
kind of hard to keep people in there.
So that's what I'm saying.
That's a real problem.
no, come here, no, come here. I'm saying, come up, come here.
We definitely want to get your information. We can-
Yeah, no, man, listen, we got, give him, the address, he don't check.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any other
601
public safety specific questions
601 to
while
607.
public safety is here?
Driveway 607, Bramwell Avenue.
Hi, thank you. I just have a quick comment. I know I heard
History.
complaints
He's on fire.
about the strobe lighting around the car on, the police vehicle on Osprey.
Yes, on Boswick. Yes.
And I was happy to see that there were vehicles there today. We had a problem at the library at times. Is that people don't want to come to the library there because they are afraid. So I like the fact that the vehicles were there today. So please, in your consideration, don't move them, but do something else.
About the light.
About the light.
Right. The cars can stay, just turn the lights off. Yeah.
Any more, public safety questions?
Have you ever considered doing parking permits, like downtown?
So we do.
Parking permits?
We have, zone, I mean, that's why the zone parking is not the ultimate solution to every area. Sometimes zone parking can be more of a hindrance than a help, because with the zone parking, you gotta take into consideration, it's a 2 to 3 block radius. So now when you're restricting people, telling them like they have to park within the zone, and you think that it's going to get rid of the problems, a lot of times that's not the case.
Do people double park, triple park?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that we're a growing city and we're not building enough parking. I don't care what no master plan say or no, people have cars.
Right.
People have cars. Some people have 2. I have 4 cars, just me. I'm not counting what my wife got, not the vehicle I'm holding for my brother, not my tenants' vehicles. I'm just counting my vehicles. So that's the reality. We have to really have a serious conversation as it relates to parking and building parking. I know they're going to say that the master plan don't call for parking, right? But I just know what my eyes tell me. If you're telling me now that I can't find a parking, and if you're going to put up a 12-story building, even if they bring 12 cars, there's not enough not enough parking for the cars that's here now. You know, so parking is a huge issue, man.
I will say though, if this is an ongoing issue, definitely email us again, take a picture, send us a picture, email us, we'll send it to Lieutenant Ragland and he'll send a unit out there. Especially if it happens every day around the same time. We can send that time and day to the lieutenant and he'll send a vehicle around that to try to issue some tickets. Sometimes, and we'll hope we have enough people to go out and issue those tickets.
So the other one's calling for.
And also, with regards to zone parking, the majority of the area has to want it.
Yes. 80% of your neighbors have to.
They have to want it.
8 out of every 10 houses, and a lot of times you find people who don't wanna.
Yeah, they don't.
We got, within blocks or within the jurisdiction?
No, so sometimes it's like between a 2-3 block radius this way and this way.
Yeah, because like I said, from Martin Luther King going to Grand Street, period, they have.
They have zone going all the way, all the way through that area.
So if you want it on your block, you can petition to get it, and we can help you learn more about how to petition to get that. But again, you have to get signatures for 8 out of every 10 houses on the block. Or 8 out of every 10 constituents on the block. Before we go to Mike, I just want to say Glenda Cannon online, we're gonna come to you after we go to two more people in at 39 Kearney Avenue. So we'll go to Mike and then we have a question up front, and then we'll go back to Zoom.
I have a question about,
That's Sunday?
the police cars, and the sirens, the flashing lights.
You're late.
Yeah, they just brought that, question up. You came to class late, yeah. They covered that portion.
Thank you. What was the answer? We gonna look into turning those lights off?
Oh, hold on, yeah, what is the solution to that? What's the philosophy behind it?
It's to show people that there's a radio car there, don't come to that area.
But I think they could see that without the lights, Cap.
Well, is the lights on are you talking about the night or
They on all day, all day they on, even in the daytime.
In the daytime.
All right.
Cause it tells you
I'll-
something's wrong when there's not always something wrong.
Yeah, they turn the lights on and they go through the light and then they turn them off.
Yeah.
I'll-
For those of us with astigmatism, where light gets blurred in the dark, it's very dangerous driving. Bill brought that up about how there's certain intersections where it really throws the auto.
Yeah.
See, I know at Marion, the people said they want the lights on.
Well, that's different.
I've never been to, but I never heard anybody want lights on.
No, they said they want it there. They tell us actually where to park the car, where to like it, and they want the lights on because it deters people from hanging out in the courtyard in the back.
What about the daytime though, Cap? That's
I have to
the
go see
thing that
that.
really,
I'll be like, where did you see the lights? What streets?
MLK, I have videos.
Lexington and.
Oh, all right, we haven't been on Union with that post in about 2.5 weeks.
Lexington.
2.5 weeks, so they just relatively,
No, okay, that's not for the post. That's because we had a problem at 67 Oak. I'm getting complaints about all the guys hanging out in the street,
Yes.
drinking in the street, setting up tables, playing dice and playing cards in the street. So they're gonna come with lights and sirens because lights and sirens means move, get out of here. Because the neighbors who live there are complaining about the people who do not live there that are setting up close, basically.
Every day.
All driving around all day. I don't know if this is what you want to. I'm not. Sorry.
See, I'm only in control of Lexington and Bergen and Marion. So anything else I could talk to.
Seven keep mine because Grant and Martin Luther King with those little lights going on, it's keeping that traffic off my block. Okay,
That's good to
and
know.
my block used to be a very heavy hit block. It could be
Yes.
a very long.
If we could just.
all right.
So my only 2 cents for those of you that don't want zoning in your neighborhood, with the construction that's going on, those of us downtown near the waterfront and Paulsbrook that have all the contractors that are coming there and parking and double parking, triple parking, causing havoc, you might want to reconsider actually getting some zoning within those neighborhoods. Just a thought, because then you can just have them towed, call it a day, and then you don't have folks filling up your spots and you can actually find parking. Because we deal with this day in, day out, and now we have 50 and 55 Hudson being built, now we have next to Irby being built, now we got like 8 buildings being built. It's all the contract. So like, there's that's my 2 cents.
Hold on, let's go.
I said we're gonna go to Zoom.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
let's go to Zoom and then we'll go here. Let's go to Miss, I see you, Miss,
Glenda Cannon?
yeah, Miss Cannon.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me. Okay. First, I want to say, thank you, Councilman.
If you can talk a little bit louder?
Yes, first I want to say thank you, Councilman, and my councilperson Gilmore and his team, and those that are there. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Miss Cannon.
Okay, very good. God bless all of y'all. Grace and peace. Okay, now, I love this city of Jersey City. I love this city, but I don't like what's happening in it lately. Okay, number one, what is this about cooking on the sidewalk on MLK Drive? Fish frying, barbecue pit. What is this all about? Is this something new, and is there a law against it? And it needs
Well,
to
it's, so Miss Cannon question relates to the the cooking and selling on MLK, frying food. Um, I know, I know from a health perspective, you're not supposed to be doing it. Well, from a health perspective, you're not supposed to be doing it and selling it. From a regulation standpoint, even if you is eating it, there's still parameters in which you're supposed to go about frying and grill. I don't even think anything in our code permits anyone to fry food outside other than on your porch or something like that. Um, so that is some, I mean, if you do you know what area in particular?
MLK Drive. MLK Drive.
In what? MLK Drive?
I believe there's two spots. MLK and between Bidwell and Bayview.
So MLK between Bayview and
Bidwell,
Bidwell, and
yes.
which other one?
I can't think of the other one that right now. I'll get it and I'll call you. Okay.
Okay. Also, if y'all see that, can y'all take the pictures, go through C-Click Fix, or email it too,
Sure.
so we can send the health department out there?
Yes, yes. That's number one. Okay, okay. I'll take care of that's number one. We'll take care of that. I'll get you pictures.
All right.
That's another question. Number two, any city that you go in, and if there's an MLK drive and that drive is not up to par, then guess what? The Black and brown community is not going to be up to par. That's a known fact. MLK drive here is not up to par, and we need to do something about it. Today, I saw two women sleeping on the street on MLK Drive. And I said to myself, what is going on here? So I'm telling you, my council person, if MLK Drive don't get its act together, then the city is never going to get itself together. That's a known fact. And when I saw two women sleeping on the street on MLK Drive, the litter, the garbage, every business should be held accountable. If you're gonna have a business on MLK Drive in our city, then guess what? I don't care who do the littering. You should have the responsibility of cleaning up in front of your establishment. Not only that, you should pick up the garbage and the debris and sweep the street in front of your, if you can't do that, then you shouldn't be there. Okay? So what is it that we can do about this? Because it's done got out of hand. The loitering, the standing around the smoke shops. I don't have anything against smoke shops, if that's your business. But when I see 12 and 13 men standing around a smoke shop in the middle of the day, there's a problem in my city. I love this city, but I just don't like what's happening in it, and seemingly nobody's doing anything about it. I know you can't do it all. It's the responsibility of all of us working together. The garbage and debris, homeowners should be held accountable. If you own a home, clean up in front of your house, sweep in front of your house. I don't care who do the garbage in. Guess what? This is our city and we live in it. And if we don't put some rules down, it's gonna stay like this. And as I say this again, any city that you go into, and if there's an MLK Drive, then it's not up to par, and nope, it's in the condition that it's in. Look for the Black and brown community to not be up to par. That's a known fact. That's what I've got to say. Okay. All right.
All right, Ms. Cannon. Well, I mean, I think from a litter perspective, it's a matter of enforcing, because there's ordinances on the book that speak to all landowners keeping in front of their property clean. I do sympathize, I do feel for the store owners, but ultimately, first of all, if you're in business, you should want in front of your business clean anyway. No one shouldn't have to tell you to do it, right? You should just do it. Especially if you're a homeowner, you know and understand that it affects your property value to keep it clean in front of there. I know we have we have on order new garbage cans to place them on MLK. I think this is a multi-level problem. One, the community have a responsibility to, one, throw the damn garbage away and not throw it on the floor. The municipal government have a onus as well by making sure the proper disposable cans are in place for people to throw them there. And then three, like I said, the stores and the homeowners need to take responsibility for in front of their establishment. This is not a problem that we're going to be able to use the police for. This is something that we're going to have a comprehensive approach. Again, homeowners, the community, and the city, each is going to have to do their part. I will say this though, I run every other morning, sometimes every morning, and they do send people to clean MLK. As they're coming out, I'm on my first mile. And when I'm coming back on the fifth or sixth mile, I said, wait, am I confused? I know I just seen that they cleaned. There's no way that they can be back dirty this quick. I only ran to Liberty Park and back, and it's still and it's dirty. And I know that I've seen them do that. So it's a combination of multiple things, man. And we just have to have a sense of belonging, a sense of cleanliness. Sometimes I sweep that whole people, you would think that lot on the corner is mine. I'm cleaning in there so much. Right? That's because one, I hate filth. I don't like to live in filth. And two, I just think that the onus is on everybody to pitch in and do something. I know, like I was saying, about the neighborhood association, and that is one of the tasks I would like for the neighborhood association to tackle in that area. We want to have this Keep MLK Clean initiative, right? Because I wholeheartedly believe that it's a psychological disassociation, right? If you live in filth, you're gonna think like filth, right? So we have to do everything in our power to keep it clean. I walk MLK or jog MLK every day intentionally, not because I love the route, right? It's because I want to be so connected to the problem and I want to be frustrated with the problem to the point we find a solution to address the problem, right? But that's something, as much as it is on the homeowners and the city, is on the community as well. The stuff that I see people like blatantly throw, like, I hate that stuff, man. They literally just they just throw, they'll eat a half a sandwich and they don't like the rest of, just throw it down. And the crazy thing is they'll have a bag in their hand. Or a garbage can to be right there. Right? So I mean it's an education component. I know when we worked in Stop the Drop, a lot of people was like all saying that we shouldn't have this program. Why do you have kids cleaning the street? Well, we have kids cleaning their rooms. Right? We have clean, one, they have a job, two, they could take a sense of, ownership, a sense of pride in their community. And then during that same program, we had a presentation where we see exactly how litter affects the environment. What happens when they get into the sewer lines? What happened when, how does it affect you, again, from a psychological standpoint? So that is something that I've been advocating for them to bring back. I know there's been a lot of pushback. We don't want this program. You're talk. At the end of the day, people are having jobs and you're keeping the area clean, right? I don't care who doing it. So,
Councilman, if I may.
yes.
I'm gonna quick plug real quick. One of your initiatives is getting the community to get involved. Like you said, the Building Block Association. And what we've done is we've gotten materials from DPW. So we keep our own stash of brooms, dustpans, and those litter pickers. So if you want to host a community cleanup, we will provide these materials to you along with the trash bags and the gloves. So in the packet that you're getting distributed to you today, you have this flyer. So if you want to host a community cleanup, it could just be your block from Ocean to MLK.
Yeah.
It could just be your little block that you want to clean up. One thing I will tell you though, when you host these cleanups, it does help instill and pride in the community. And you have the ability to say, hey, I just swept this corner, you better pick that up. And when people see other people cleaning, they help, they respect it more. They see that you just swept. So they'll think twice before they drop it. They're not gonna disrespect you in front of your in front of your face, they might drop it when you leave, or a couple weeks later. But if we do these community cleanups more often, it'll train your neighbors to think twice before dropping a litter. When I hosted cleanup, when I first came back to Jersey City, I hosted a cleanup on my block. And I was just doing it by myself. And other people saw me cleaning and asked me to help. Kids, 5, 10 years old. Can I help you? Can I help you? They want stuff to do. And it's just they want to be invited to do it. So I'll just say that you'll meet your neighbors. Hosting a community cleanup is one of the best things you can do to try to turn things around on your block, to inspire people.
I agree. Am I still there?
Your
Am I
neighbor.
still there?
Hold on. What'd you say, Miss Cannon?
Am I still there?
Yes, you're still here,
Okay,
young
just
lady.
a quick response, in response to the young lady there. We did a sweep-a-thon of Martin Luther King Drive. We swept 50 blocks.
Yes.
My concern is my neighborhood stays clean. I pass out letters and I tell them, please keep our block clean. But my concern is MLK Drive. We get it now? If you don't have MLK Drive in part and up to check, guess what? No, the communities is not gonna be up to check. We got to do something about MLK Drive. The litter,
Yeah.
garbage, the filth, it just makes no sense. So we can do whatever we want to do in our individual community. But if MLK Drive in your city is not up to par, then guess what? Your community is never going to be up to par. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Well, yes, Miss Candy.
The Jackson Hill SID also manages the MLK Drive, and they're like a block association for the businesses that are on MLK Drive. What we need to encourage these businesses to do is to be a part of the SID so that we'll have more people involved in paying into that community effort because they have a cleanup crew as well. I know Miss over here wanted to see.
Yes, on the cleanup. The cleanup is a great idea, but I'm gonna be honest. We have a lot of people that live in our community that the owners do not reside here.
Yes.
These are rentals.
So true.
They're out TRA and they're less fortunate than me, okay? Or Section 8, they're less fortunate than me. We all need a roof over our head, okay?
Yes.
So I can't basically get everyone to kind of work with me without the owners. And as we can get our ticket books out, okay, and go through and be very aggressive. Even those buildings where they place their garbage out.
In the front,
they have
yeah.
no proper garbage bags. Maybe we should donate some garbage bags to some of these unfortunate 2 to 3 family homes because that's where they just take and put it in a brown paper bag and throw it out. No garbage can, and then they're blowing all over the street. That's my problem on my block. My problem.
Properly
And then we feel
disposal.
like New Orleans, they clean the streets every night with water.
That'd be something to look into with Health and Human Services and possibly DPW to see if there are any grants available for strong garbage bags.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah.
One more time. I like what she just said. Big facts. Like, yeah, a whole bunch of development going on in the neighborhood. We don't know who owns whatever. I done saw people who live in my neighborhood building houses up for those who can't import my neighborhood out, period. They've been working their system just for money. You never see them. They don't care about cleanup. I got their numbers. I gotta text them, send them pictures. Why do I have to do that? We need enforcement.
Yes.
Garbage is a big problem where I live at. Okay? Period. I stay cleaning up. And I feel as though I shouldn't have to clean up like this. I got a building across the street, I eat big garbage all day. Just because I don't have a fence in my yard. Period. But the garbage is just extra. On top of that, it's the kids. I can clean up outside my place. I watch the kids walk by and just throw it clean up. So, but I know what I'm doing, okay? That's not my fight. My whole thing is landlords. Big time. Because they don't live here like she just said.
Yeah.
And they really tearing the neighborhood up. People really is cleaning up though. We have certain people on each block, period, that's what they do. But those individuals in Bramhall, not for saying for nothing, 90% of their owners.
Yeah, they're all, most of them,
Understand, I'm moving here forever. And it's from grandma going all the way back up to Baghdad, like I call it. Okay? Hear me, feel me. But my thing is this, I've been going to that Jackson stuff.
Jackson Hill,
For the last 2 years or so. All everybody, they storefronts. My guy, my guy.
that's who paid them, so
I
that's.
understand, but my whole thing is when they talk about it, they say from Orient going back up and from Monticello going back down. So I'm like, what's up with it? What's in between it? Like, I'm not having it. And there's stores in between too. Feel me? Talk to me. And nothing, like you said, I'm doing your work though. I lost my residential parking because the people, we built those buildings down there. And they chose not to pay whatever money because they wanted to park on the streets. And I lost my own parking for that, which is not a problem. Now I gotta go through the extra stuff, but I understand where you come from, but I'm proud of my body. I live it. I feel your pain.
That's fair, but just a legitimate question that I don't understand in Jersey City, I've been here for 10 years now at this point, is how can we have a special improvement district where we're paying tax?
That's what we need to work on. That's what.
Honestly, like I appreciate some of the work the special improvement districts do, but why are we taxing the big city?
A lot of money.
As a part of it.
We pay a lot of money for taxes.
Instead of storefronts. Like it seems kind of sick.
Everybody's just off the waterfront, man. Feel me? And the people in the community area, from regards to from down there to up there, they the ones who feel it. Period. We just ain't help. Period. That's it. That's my fight right there.
No,
In taxes. Period. Anything else I'll deal with.
Bring back Stop the Drop and let's give our teenagers
Well,
that
that's
summer and all some jobs.
yeah,
This administration stopped it, but hopefully the next one will bring it back.
Jackson meeting the other day.
yeah.
Months ago.
Get the young lady, yeah, mom.
While we're watching the garbage or trying to pick up the garbage, let's pick up the dog poop.
Oh, that's
Let's give people tickets for those dog pooping, even in front of your house, my house, and they not cleaning it up. I would like to see them really be ticketed for that, because you walk around on almost every block in Jersey City.
You have,
And
yeah.
dog mess all over the place. What nonsense is this? You know, if we could really enforce that, and I think there is some type of,
There is a fine.
Everybody has a dog, and they walk their dogs and don't clean up. And I'm putting up signs on my fence, and they're just ignoring the signs.
So
So please include that in your enforcement as well.
So we want to get feedback, like, how many dog food tickets did we write?
Zero.
A year.
Zero.
When I'm calculating tickets,
They ain't right, yeah.
That's a $200 fine, isn't it? That's what
You
they're
actually gotta catch them doing it.
Well, that's the thing, so if you know the dog owner, you know where they live, you can report it. You can testify at your local precinct and say, I saw my neighbor, they live at such Lane Street, and.
Bring it back.
Hold on, let this young lady, she had a question over here.
Hold on one second.
She did want to continue.
I just wanted to add, I feel like parking is an issue, like in most urban cities statewide, right? Or just pretty much anywhere that has a lot of people like living in the area. So I get that, people are parking, everybody's complaining like, okay, there's no parking. But what happens when people are also getting tickets? Because it's still no parking. So I feel like, the consequences isn't going to stop the problem, like, getting ticketed or going to court or paying fine because it's still no parking. So what happens if it's really no parking? You're driving around for over an hour looking for a park to go home, and you have to park at a fire hydrant. You have to park in a crosswalk because there's no parking. So is this just going to continue to be an ongoing thing? Like, you're just gonna have to pay tickets and have to get fined if you can't find a parking. Unfortunately, if you don't have a driveway, or like what can happen for it to work for, I guess, people that live in Jersey City?
who have a car may not have a driveway, and for it to also not burn their pockets, like, 'cause some people can't afford these tickets. Twice a week they're giving a ticket, or like, that adds up, that becomes a bill, and it's unfortunate, so.
Mhm. I mean, I think ultimately there's a solution right there. I think honestly, we should really consider, and I know the relationship with the Board of Ed and the city isn't where it needs to be, but we should really consider allowing people to use the school parking lot from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. the next day. It is a match made in heaven, right? The school need money and the city need parking. If your car is not out every single day at 6 a.m., you'll deal with the consequences as it relates to what you signed on the contract for. But to not engage in that conversation, right, I think is a disservice to everybody. I'm telling you that every school parking lot will be filled. And even if they're only charging $25 a week, right? Because on the average, you're likely to get at least 2 tickets a week. Tickets are $50. Oh, 55? Well, if you're paying online, you got to pay the court costs. Yes, and if you don't pay it on time, you get a $10 fee. So I think I really hope these next administrations will be able to work in unison, man, because again, it makes money for the school. They create money. And I know it's a little liability issue, but I think it's nothing that insurance can't figure out. Get the insurance on it, and then, I mean, it's a match made in heaven, man. It just makes sense. Mr. Griffin?
Yeah, I want to go back to the garbage real quick. These buildings, what's happening is they're coming down and putting their garbage, they're using the public, garbage cans, which is an issue. DPW need to be looking into these buildings or zoning. And also regional, who picks up garbage, it flies everywhere.
Oh my God.
And they need to be held accountable as well.
Yeah.
They're throwing garbage cans, garbage. I mean, the bags are busting open. They're running stuff over. And DPW needs to be a part of this conversation.
Again, the solution is right there. Another problem, the solution is there. Bring the garbage in-house. You give people jobs. You have people that live in the community that's picking up the garbage. Let me tell y'all this, even when regional come, if they come and they miss garbage, guess what? DPW come and get it anyway. If they come and they leave garbage as they throwing it on the van, guess what? DPW come and pick up the garbage anyway, right? So if we can bring it back in-house, we have garbage trucks already there, right? It's an opportunity to get some people some employment. And again, the city is burdened by regional get paid good money. Why? Because they donate to political campaigns. Meanwhile, the garbage is it's horrible. It is horrible, man. And it's like, yo, we got more garbage than when we put the garbage out. We might as well not put the garbage out.
We have a question in the front, and then I'll come to the back. He hasn't spoken yet, so. And
Yeah,
then,
let the young man
Actually, it's not a question.
okay.
I got in touch with you all because I wanted to make an announcement.
Yes.
So my name is Derek. I work for disease prevention for Health and Human Services. I normally make these announcements at the beginning, but I'm glad I stayed, and I didn't want to interrupt the flow. I want to tell everybody here, because many people don't know, Jersey City has an STI clinic that is free for all Jersey City residents. It's confidential, it's safe, it's right across the street. It's at the Andy building. And it's free for everybody to come to. We test and we treat for pretty much everything. And my job is hard because I'm outreach person. A lot of times I start talking about sex and STIs and people turn on. You know, I've been with my husband 30 years. I don't make that. My kids don't. And but you all been talking about the kids and the resources and stuff all day. The kids are out there. Let me tell you.
They outside.
And we see the kids 13 and up. kids out here, they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
We not only educate them and test them, but we arm them with knowledge, and we give out cards, which is something that's kind of frowned upon by some people in the city. So they feel that if we do that, we're telling them go ahead and do it. But I've seen the numbers. They're doing it.
Yeah, they doing what they doing.
They don't need nothing. So I'm gonna leave my flyer. I'm gonna leave some cards. Again, it is a resource for all Jersey City residents. It's here for you.
Thank you.
Oh, you work disease, you got my old job.
Okay. Maybe I'll have your job then.
The next,
Thank you so much for coming.
anyone else, with public safety concerns? I know Cap gotta make a run. He gotta head for the border. I'll stick around for about another half an hour.
Cannon, was your question a public safety question on Zoom?
Yes, I have another question. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Cannon, we can hear
Okay,
you. What's
now,
the next question?
I'm just digressing from garbage right now, but I want to bring this out, Councilman. I work out of the North Bergen and the Heights schools.
Mm-hmm.
I began to notice something for the last 2 years, that those children have bands and music department. They teach them how to play instruments, and they beautiful. And then I began to think, do the Greenville area where I live, the schools that are in Greenville, do they offer music programs to our children? Because it is stated that a child who plays an instrument is more apt not to get in trouble. Do we have bands and things in these Greenville area schools? They have big, it's absolutely beautiful. I sit and I listen at these children play and being taught, but I've never seen anything in our area such as. Can you tell me if it is so or not so?
I can check for you as it relates to, because that would be a Board of Ed function.
Okay.
I would imagine that, Jersey City Public Schools have.
High School.
No, I think she's talking about the grammar school. I think they want some of those,
The grammar.
yeah, some of those public schools, have different music programs. I just don't know off bat which school, if any, up on this side of the city have that at their, disposal.
Okay,
I
I'll
will
check with
say
the
that
board.
if you
I'll check with the board.
They have drumming, they had drumming a couple months ago, cheerleading, also a musically inclined type sport. But also always check rec desk. And the thing is, people don't know about all the awesome programs that your tax dollars have already paid for. And unfortunately, when we don't sign our kids up, recreation loses that money and they end up giving it to the public safety department. We gave like $300,000 from recreation to public safety a couple years ago because they had extra funds, and we asked, why do you have all these extra funds? And they said, oh, well, we had a program and not enough kids signed up for it, so we didn't use the funds. So those funds end up going to another department when they were earmarked originally for our kids. So we have to get the word out. If you don't have children, or your children are grown up, get the word out to your church or your neighbors, your friends, let people know that these organizations, these programs exist, whether we sign our kids up for it or not. The funds are earmarked and your tax dollars are there, and they're just gonna spend it somewhere else where we didn't intend for it to go. So we need to fill up these programs and get the word out.
Give them jobs.
Yes.
Very quickly, I'm still here.
You can
I'm not,
It's
can I,
sign up, register for an account. But we have it in our email, we have a link in all of our newsletters.
Yeah, so make sure you guys, everyone, make sure they sign in, put your email address. If you're not subscribed to Everything Water F, we'll send you an email to subscribe. And it's like our way of, dispersing all of the programs that's available. If you know programs that you don't see on the newsletter, please bring it to our attention so we can let people know. So Kat, we thank you for coming out, spending some time with us today. You're gonna talk to the young man right there.
My Christmas decorations.
Yes. So like I said, we do have about another 15 or 20 minutes. If you guys have any other additional.
I just wanted to say something about how this gentleman said we have parking and, people parking in the driveway and, you know, trash on the street and all that, whatever, from coming down. A mentality that people are having. And they need to be able to have like, you know, cultural awareness and diversity. They used to have, at the library, they had, African dance class, which I was involved with a bit. They have drumming, I did that too. But music really helps to bring people together. And it is something that's like, you know, culturally for us, we love music, right? And I'm talking about Black and Spanish people. I'm not talking about white people, I love it too. Y'all love it too. But I'm just telling you that that has been like, you know, like a cornerstone. Also, and it's an inclusive companion for people. Everybody, like all over the world, everywhere I've traveled, people love music. And Snyder High School actually is, they are like the music.
The arts, Snyder is the arts, yes.
I think 41 is the, I know Snyder High School is doing that. And
Martin's 41 is school for the arts too, for grammar school.
a combination of it, and then like concerts that people can, they can buy, maybe, or have subscriptions. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's free, but if you, even if you charge $1, you know, people will come out or, and that'll raise money for the school for whatever they have. If they can get, they might even have the band marching down MLK at some point. To show up their an African dance and all of that. Going down there, that is going to start to establish a pride in where you live. If there's no foot, look, if there was the lunchroom, I was in the lunchroom in the school, and the kids would be flying up. I thought I was insane or something like that. They were just jumping off the, and I was like, oh Lord, Jesus help me. And then I said, why don't they have like do an African dance class session in the during lunchtime for them? And so they can learn how to do something and then maybe learn some songs or something like that. And they said, well, they put the songs on and oh, well, we have to get the parents, we have to stay at the school. I said, no, do it during lunchtime. These are things that it seems like, wow, mind blown. What do we do? And so many things are right in front of you. Most of the time, things are in front of you. They're not distant, they're not far away. They're right there for you. If you use your imaginations and creativity, you will come up with these answers and these solutions. This is your community. I say to people, when they look at the kids and say, oh, it's so bad. Well, you know what? Maybe you were a little bad at times too, right? Maybe I jumped off of a roof myself and jumped off of a roof.
Thank you so much.
But I'm just saying that if we can redirect that also, because I had parents that did that for me. And if we can do that also, then we can have respect for each other, we can have fun together too. And go to church sometimes, you know what I mean? Go there and be involved in the community. This is supposed to be our session to be able to speak.
Yeah, but we want to give everybody.
We want to speak as well, and it's 8:14 p.m. So we just want to check time.
If this is the repetition of the problems and how do we get solutions?
Yes.
That's what I really want. I want to have solutions to some of these problems because some of these are recurring problems.
Yes.
So that's all I'm saying.
We have Dania on Zoom, but before we go to Dania, this woman had her hand up first, Tina, to your left. And then, so we'll go here, Zoom, and then we'll go to you. Oh, you're leaving, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, ain't she
yes,
from
the
La
one-
Monica office? Yes.
Can you talk real quick before she leaves? Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I really enjoyed being here with you guys. I think this is like my first like really interactive community meeting like ever. So it was really nice to hear all the concerns. Yeah.
Yes.
Shanti. I'm the outreach manager for Congresswoman McIver. She represents this part of Jersey City. So I like to come to community meetings quarterly to take reports and bring it back to her. So that was all. I also wanted to let you guys know if you guys have any congressional issues, like on a federal level, you guys can always reach our office. I'm gonna leave my business card back there. You can take a picture of it because I don't have a lot. but, our office is ready to help as well. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shanti.
Then one more question and then we'll go to Zoom.
Hi, my name is Elena Paeva, and you know me as the Bergen Hill Park Association founder, right? I'm gonna be very quick because I heard a lot of concern here, and as a, as a resident like for 14 years here, it's ongoing issues, right? I've been in New York, I've been in downtown, and we move Bergen Hill. Everything is reachable, and I understand everybody has passion. So to talk about, but I'm here to talk about it. We found that probably one of the best part how to solve a lot of issues. We have a community that bring kids and educate them because we have a park. We have activities like digital art, education. I'm doing myself because I have a passion for this, and kids are involved. Kids love it. People can go around and we do yoga for mornings, Sunday or whatever it's summer. It's all going in the park. Yoga activity in the park. We play badminton, which I see a little bit here. It's all physical activity and it brings family here. We meet every time we do Halloween, Easter hunt, anything that even Christmas like. It's always community there, and everybody share the joy, right? And knowing this, people always share themselves how to look, how to find the best school, how to in anything, how to, right? So the whole thing that create this kind of sense of holiness and community is because we have a bond. And I understand there's a scarcity of green space in the entire Jersey City. But I think you can see the tendency in Bumble Park, right? Strong community.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely proud. Hamilton Park, really there like rental school for 1 year. And probably that inspired me that you can have this everywhere in Jersey City. And it's not only that. I have people coming from New York and being part of the Central Park Conservancy, and they love how they feel the vibes of the great city. And you know what they want to see so I'm the park. We show them our park. It's exciting to see people understand that harmony of the city and how to build community. It takes environment and it takes something that city has to embrace. It's green spaces. So I'm here.
Yes.
We are fortunate enough to have a grant for this year, and we are filing for this grant, and we're asking you to support it.
Can you give us your contact number? Do you have contact?
No, we have, that's Irene, I have, yeah.
About us. I know we've been talking to you. Talk about us as a community. Would you like to, like, say your email address or your website for people who are here and want to learn more about your cause?
To go on Bergen Hill Park JC and Instagram.
Bergen Hill Park JC on Instagram.
And you will see everything. You can write messages, you can
Beautiful.
find like real transparent content there, and you will see history. What exactly we're showing people how to bring life to every
Community to green space. So Bergen Hill Park JC, thank you so much for coming and joining us today. Yeah, I know, we definitely. We wanna make sure you are able to let people know about your cause and protecting green spaces for Jersey City.
I think we have one more comment.
Dania on Zoom.
Oh, yes, and then we'll go to Sunday. Dania? Am I even saying her name right?
Let me invite her to unmute herself. You look Danya.
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 I'm sorry I'm not there. I'm sorry I'm not there in person. I'm gonna be short and sweet. So first I have to say, for the first time in probably 3 decades, Ward F has a councilman and team who really are doing it. Okay, I'm born and raised in Ward F. I'm 46 years old. So I'm still doing the whole construction thing, right? I'm gonna take that up. I'm just here to just tell you what I'm doing now with Jerry Walker. The goal is to get some guys employed. I
Yes.
own a plumbing company, an HVAC company with my father, who is a licensed plumber. I'm trying to get my license. The state's giving me a little bit of an issue because that's what the state is about. But long story short, what I need is anybody who has a construction company, anybody who is interested in working with learning a trade, plumbing, HVAC, carpentry. I'm working with Mark Wilson, Shantae. We're gonna really, for the first time, I think we've been talking about this for over 20 years, trying to get locals work. There's a lot of construction projects in Jersey City and no one in Jersey City is working on them. I don't think anyone is understanding that. We're talking about garbage. We're talking about a lot of things because we don't have homeowners. We don't have people who can afford to live here because we can't get people work. Listen, I'm a minority. I am here from Ward F for a long time. I went to school. I have an engineering degree. I've been in and out, but again, I'm fully committed now. Before I die, I'd like to train some guys. I'd like to get some work. My father is 68. He's willing to train. And I think between Councilman Gilmore, who's very valuable to us, I got to give you props, and Jerry Walker and some other guys, we could probably do it now. We could probably push the guys high up. I don't know who's going to win for mayor this year, but we really need to push that locals need work. If we could get the work, we can hire local guys. We can't get work here. Talk to anybody who's licensed tradesmen in Jersey City. We can't get work and therefore we can't hire locals. So I just want to put it out there. I'm fully committed. You guys are too busy. I can get after the guys. I just need to know who has a PLA. I'll get after anyone who needs to hire locals and we'll get after them. And then you got me here. But again, if I don't have a plumbing contract, I can't train young people. So I just want to say that, I'd like to really do something.
Yes.
Danya, do you have contact information you can share with us?
Yes, you have all of mine in my email, but I'll give it to you via email and whoever it is.
So get his,
Right.
then we'll put it.
It's Danya@modernmechanicalnj.com. My father's on Clerk Street in Carteret for the last 40 years. My father went to 41 school in Snyder. So he is from the neighborhood and we'd love to have a crew of local people who can work. We got plenty of smart people here locally. We don't need outsiders in Jersey City. We can build it ourselves.
I agree 110%.
Is it free training or paid training? Is the training free?
The training has to be paid. I don't think anybody could work for free these days. So like if we have a job and we could put a guy to help, that's called a plumber's helper. He's going to pick up tools. He's going to pick up garbage, but he'll start out. And if he learns, that's how everybody starts.
No, I think that she's referring, it's twofold. She's talking about training, which they offer through Jerry Walker, program. And then she's talking about on the job training where individuals can go with these different professionals to help out, see how much they like it. Then they can help get subsequent credentials to be certified and stuff like that.
Exactly. It takes a few years, but if anyone who's interested, we got the work. We're more than willing to train.
You gotta start somewhere.
Right. It's going to be picking up garbage sometimes and doing help, but a lot of guys are making six figures if they stick to it. So
yes.
Thank you, Danya.
Thank you guys. Thank you for everything you do, by the way.
Yes. And Sunday. She's gonna put it on what's the name?
Put it up there.
Yes.
Good evening. Here's twofold. One is I actually haven't been to one of your quarterly meetings, so it's nice actually. So thank you guys.
You haven't?
Oh, we talking about you all the time.
Oh, that's why we see it. That's I feel like you. Oh, okay.
But to kind of go off of that stuff that you have going on, you and I spoke. Actually, I think I spoke to everybody about the point about capital reserve plan, state report, and the structural plan.
Speak into the mic.
So yeah, that they put forth for all the condos and co-ops in the state of New Jersey. So we chose to do in my new building, which is 2 blocks from my old building, we chose to do the structural first, and now this is gonna be us. So Alex and I are both board members at our building, and it's $450,000 assessment split between 4 units.
Yes.
Now, this is $32,000 per person. Now, this is just the start. This is the tip of the iceberg. There are no tax incentives. And since we are less than 20 units, we cannot qualify for financing. So people are going to lose their homes. So if this is happening in Polisbook, I imagine that this can happen everywhere. So this is coming effective January of 2026. January of 2026, but the capital came in January of this year. So you have the private sector that's going to be enforcing that with the banks, and you have the insurance companies. So what I've been trying to do is figure out, because in the master plan, there's the green infrastructure, right? Like they're looking for more green infrastructure within the city of Jersey City. For whatever reason, Jersey City doesn't have anything on the books for tax incentives to do this. One of the water infiltration functions that we have to address is the roof. So we have to rip and replace the roof, but if we put in a green roof, we can't get any benefits. But that's supposed to help with stormwater runoff, gray water runoff. It's actually in the master plan that the city approved last year, right? But New York has $10 per square foot that they give. They give a $200,000 tax break to those who put in a green roof.
Wait, but New York as a city or as a state? Yeah?
As a city.
Michael
There-
Hold on, let her finish. That's interesting. I didn't know, I thought that was.
So at this point, since I understand this is the very beginning, and most of these buildings have done it on the flip side, where they've done the capital reserve plan first instead of doing the structural plan. I would like to propose us putting something forth before the city council to approve some kind of benefits for those of us who are gonna get hit heavy by being smaller buildings who can't qualify for getting any aid from banks because we're just too small.
Yeah.
I've gone from a 120 unit building to a 14 unit building, and I never, personally, I just didn't know. I didn't know that this could happen. Regardless, I don't think anybody knows this could happen. It's brand new. Like people.
Well, it's new. That's what I'm about to say. I don't think anybody, it's new.
Yeah, but I mean, in Florida, you have these buildings that have multi-million-dollar assessments. You have in Hoboken, $4 million assessment here, multi-million-dollar assessment. It's starting. It's starting now. So I would like, or even for our building or whomever else has done the structural first, because our engineering company says there's a building in Journal Square that they just lost their CFO. This is happening. So I'm happy to help move this forward and put something forth for the council. I know Assemblywoman Ramirez, she did submit something on behalf of our building to the New Jersey Division of Banking and Insurance.
Oh, okay.
See if that maybe they could force somebody to give us some sort of funding. Even if it's a predatory loan, at least it's an option, right?
No, I mean, I get. Yeah, but we don't want that 32,000 with all that compound. We don't.
Not having a home,
But,
right?
well, yeah.
We're at this point where our backs are up against the wall, and we're the first. We're one of the first. So I would like to try and get ahead of it if we can. I don't know how, but I'm here. I have shingles that tells you how stressed I am about it. It's been a wild month. But regardless, that's it. That's what I got.
Okay.
But the green infrastructure, the fact that we can't even get a Jersey City tax benefit, like on average, our apartments, we're pulled everybody's tax bill. On average, for our building, we're paying $1,400 a month per apartment.
Question. Can the,
Thank you, Tina, for notifying me.
can the open space, tax levy that was weighed on the city, on homeowners, can money be used from that to?
What, for what she's talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, this is something new that just was passed down, so we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to look, to see. It looks like we may have to implement a whole new legislation to do this because like we've never had this problem before. It's something new. This is a state mandate that just came down. Yes.
Right.
Structural.
Yes.
Needs with affordable. without thinking about the actual.
That's what about this, the ramifications. It was
Is this a green space thing?
no, she's saying that if they do it over and they incorporate the green space, they should be incentivized for doing so. The problem with the legislation is, in theory, it's good, but when you practically look at the implication, there's ramifications that I would imagine that they didn't foresee coming, right? Because, I mean, we're a knee-jerk reaction society. Something happened over there, everybody want to cover themselves. Oh, we have this on the books, they can't do this, it would never happen. But by default, you unintended consequences. Yeah, yes, exactly. Perfect example. Yes, yes. Okay, so I want to take this time to thank my staff, to thank everyone for coming out. Again, we're going to send out subscriptions for everything Ward F. And I want you guys to stay connected, always follow up. And, you know, we try to do as best as we can do as an office. Also, we have our waiting list, that's going out. Let's talk about housing assistance for housing authority. This is why it's so cool for you to check out the Ward F website, because you'll get these news weeklies of everything that's coming up that's going to affect your livelihood, help you navigate the course of the city. It's very user friendly, a lot of click links and things of that nature. So we just want to be as informative and as connected as an office as possible. So again, thank everyone for coming out. As always, be great on purpose.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Follow us on everything, whatever.
Y'all be blessed. Bye.
I was thinking about you today, and that daggone tree.